Hello and welcome to another episode of GM Talks. I'm sorry for the long break we had. I have a serious problem with technical stuff. This has been going on the whole year. I will be back with in a few weeks' time with a new setup, I hope. And GM Talks will of course continue as it has been doing for a long time. And I'm sorry for the missing videos, or what you should say. We've been to India. It was not a success for the team. Of course, this sometimes happens. After the tournament, I have resigned as national coach. This is not due to the result as such. It's more that I simply am way too busy, have been way too busy, way too long, and my friends and relatives and girlfriends is telling me I'm way too stressed. I need to get rid of something, and also my time is simply up. I don't see myself as a part of the future for a strong national team, which I definitely hope we will have from here on. We're also going to see some chess. There's been a lot of things going on. It was, of course, very refreshing to see the young Uzbekistan team win the Olympiad. That was simply amazing. Simply amazing. Fantastic. And a great kudos to Sokolov, who was the coach, and have written a great blog post about it. You should read it if you're interested in these kind of things. We also got, of course, a new president. Of course, Djokovic won again. Also, the opposing candidates was not really serious. They didn't even have an agenda. So that was never really an issue that they could win, even though Djokovic is a Russian and Russia is at war with Ukraine unprovoked aggression war in the world opinion, and also in my opinion. Let's see an interesting gambit in the English opening. I am sure this is something that the Indian team too prepared for the Olympiad, because Adiban played this in a game, and here we have Praggnanandhaa playing it twice against Aronian, and it is an interesting gambit. By the way, I know the sound might be very bad on this video. I'm sorry about that. Nothing I can do about it. I've been trying for an hour now to fix it. I'm not able to do it better than this, but some people who will come in and help me, I hope. Okay, let's get into the game. The English opening is, of course, this, and here. White can, of course, play g3 here, but that gives sort of black a nice setup where he can go bishop b4 immediately and so on. And that's not usually what white likes. So here they generally play this move. And black's usual response would be knight c6, and then white has a range of options. Lately they played a lot of d3, they also played a3 and e3, and of course the main line is g3. So a lot of things going on, and you can also play d4 actually, that's not bad. And e4, I lost to e4 so there's a lot of options there, interesting position for white, many things to choose from. So, but why not just kick the knight? Interesting move. White developed a knight, you just attacking it, and knight g5. And this position is a little bit interesting. I know, I remember Larsen writing about the Levon Gambit, and that's b5 here. That looks weird. The idea is simply that this knight has gone sailing away, so we are building a strong. After something like this, black definitely had compensation. Something like one more time, like this, and maybe you play a6 first, and then you play d5, and again you have some compensation, strong center, the knight will be kicked, and so on. I think they found out the antidote was this move, and then the gambit is really bad. Black's position simply crumbles, and white is way ahead in development. But here is what they came up with: c6. Weird move, right? The idea is very clear to play this. Oops, not that far, just this far, and build a center, and then kick the knight here that's gone sailing away. So you could say something like, if you go something like this, then you will have a normal position that you usually will not get with black in this situation, where we more or less have where this will be annoying for white. So, well, maybe you should take the pawn. You can play this, but then black just takes, and that's probably fine. Something like this, for instance, looks decent. You will kick the knight and win a tempi here, and black looks to be fine here. I don't see any problems at all. It looks like there are nice compensation on the black squares and so on. So nice position. So white takes. That must be the critical response, and take and d5. So that is the big point. The knight will have to go, and after take, and you could go to c3, but then comes d4, and that's probably very annoying. So they go to g3. But black just gave up a whole central pawn for almost nothing, or maybe a little something, because after h5, white is starting to feel some discomfort. This knight is not. Of course, you could play something like this, but that does not look encouraging, right? So, and then you can be sure that black has a compensation here for a pawn. This king will not find a safe haven just yet. So. And something like this does not look nice either, because this structure will leave holes everywhere. We should make it red like this. So e3, and here comes, so what, black gets another tempi, attacking the knight, and already here I can say that this will definitely be a great blitz weapon, because playing this with white, now you have to go here, and why black has gotten a lot of space, a lot of and very free development. He or she will finish development in like 3 moves, and white is can't move any of her bishops, and this pawn is really annoying. It can always jump here and so on. There also could be some problems on the white squares and so on. So this is interesting. Queen f6. I think that must be part of the preparation here. Bishop d2, bishop d6, all played before. a3, and taking over, so no knight will come here and or here. That will be made, by the way. Bishop f5, and we see that black is already totally mobilized, and white will often win this pawn. But black will then have 2 open files to attack on here, and this is serious stuff. So very interesting gambit. I'm not sure it's completely correct. It might be, but it's definitely a nice, fresh addition to black's weapon in the English Opening. The English Opening where white is sitting and hoping to get some positional advantage, and instead he has to fight for his life just to survive. That's always a nice new way to play. Rook to the open file, rook c1. And rook d8, just develop defending the pawn here. This was the second game they played in this line, and we see that black can always castle, so maybe he will not castle, and maybe this rook will be useful somewhere on this side. He might castle, he might not castle. It's not decided yet. At the moment, he's trying really hard to avoid that white will get to finish her development. As we see here that this bishop goes here, and I think this setup, you should take a look at this. This is more or less the white-black setup, and we can see we cannot develop the bishop. Also, you really don't want to castle into this at the moment. But anyway, so queen f3. This pawn looks like a goner. h3. And g3, bishop g4, And queen takes d5. Very interesting. There's a check here on most things, and white would love to get into some sort of an ending. So it's time to get the king out of the way so it will not be exchanged. And basically we are ready for this. There are some white squares and mostly white should be worried about his king. Queen b5, rook e8. So black has everything in optimal positions. This is now a major threat, and it comes no matter what. White goes here, knight takes. Here we go, attacking the knight and the bishop, and you will have to take if white gets to take on e2 or play knight e3 or something like that, then or knight c2 or something, then white will be totally blasted. So there's nothing to do. You have to take. Boom. Here comes the rook. Knight takes, queen e4, attacking the rook and putting something in here. The big threat right now is a6. And if white goes somewhere, then b5. And then this one is taken with mate. Bishop d5. That, by the way, is a mistake. It looks like it's smart to just attack the rook, but the rook is better on e8, and white is not. Black should not move this one. And by the way, this queen can't remain on this diagonal because black will kick it with a6 and b5 or something. So rook e8. So now there's a serious threat here. Bishop e3. So white is giving up the rook. But then his king will get out, and there is also the threat here, which is a little bit annoying for black. So a6 makes, of course, a lot of sense. Just attacking the queen and b5. So no more attack on the rook on e8. Queen takes a6. And by the way, here Pragg misses a fantastic move. I'm not sure it's the kind of moves you can actually see in a normal game, but this move is better than taking the rook. And after something like this, then you have this move, and that's not easy to see, I guess. I'm not sure, but the h-pawn will queen somehow. I don't know. There was a computer line. I didn't check it out real, but this is the line. So queen f3 is very, very interesting. Instead, he took on h1. That is the human choice, and there's no way anybody gonna accuse him of cheating after taking that rook. If you play queen f3, they might. Queen f3. Tagging here, rook e1, smart move, not allowing the rook to get into a checking position here. And here, black has different options. You definitely have a great compensation. The king is in trouble, the great bishops, and so on. But here, Pragg starts to flounder. By the way, he won the first 3 matches, so then he lost. But he is, of course, a monster in rapid chess. He's really, and we got to see the way he wins this game is also part of the reason, both because of the Gambit, but also because the way he wins it is just shows what we got. We got here. We got something special, because he will not take material. He will just keep on looking to create threats and so on. And that's kind of cool, that being so sort of blind to material. But queen f6 is going the wrong way, and this is also the wrong way, and it starts to flounder now for black, I think. And queen c6, smart move. Just not taking the pawn, not opening this b file that would lead to more attacking lines. What black knows that he needs more attacking lines, so just not opening this and attacking the rook and so on. Rook c8, queen d5, still not falling for any of the other things here. And after b4, a takes, getting a strong pass pawn, and also when it's here and it's covered, then the b file will not be open and the king is safer. Important point. Black keeps on playing for getting activity, And rook a1, nice little move. No rook is coming to the a file now. Bishop f3 attacking the queen. Queen b3 attacking the bishop. Bishop f8, okay, going back. b6, it's clear that white is better here. And if Aronian had a lot of time, he would win this game from this point, even though he was more or less totally busted in the opening. He should win here. But of course, this is rapid chess. This is FTX Crypto Cup. By the way, isn't it weird? They're sitting there and playing opposite each other on computers. I think that's weird. But of course, crypto is something with computers. But still, bishop c5, rook e1, and that's a mistake. Black should not give up white should not give up this a file. I don't remember what he should have played, but he should not have played that move. Maybe queen b5 or something. It could have been a good move. Rook e1, take, and bishop a6. So there are still the idea with this is to take away this square for the rook. Queen c2, and white starts to flounder completely here. Queen takes, and this is not a funny position to play in with limited time. It's probably still okay, but it can easily go wrong, and it totally messes up here for Aronian. Rook bishop c4, rook d1, bishop b3, and he says, okay, and he had Aronian has recently had a lot of success with sacrificing exchanges. So he said, okay, let's just sacrifice the exchange. I'll have 2 pawns, and 2 of them are passed, and this one is weak. And if I can just get my king into some sort of stable position, I will be fine. But there will be nothing of that at all. Because this check is much better, and after king d2, he can simply take, bang, and it's all over. This just loses the rook, so game over, and Aronian resigned after rook takes e3. So to recap, interesting gambit, and it seems like it's pretty easy to play. You just go e4, knight d5, c6, okay, take my pawn, and d5 is coming. Nice stuff, and you could try it out. And I hope GM Talks will be back with better and greater settings, and I'm actually a little relieved to have left the job as a national coach. I simply did not have the time for it, and the setup was probably also wrong. Either you should have a happy amateur that has a lot of time and can put a lot of effort into it, or you should have it as a completely professional job where you are like Sokolov is the full-time trainer, and you know your players, and you know your openings for the players, and so on. Anyway, this was GM Talks, and I'm going on a vacation in Albania in a week from today, so I will not be doing any videos for the next week. So, sorry. See you. Bye-bye.